Hello again, everyone. In this video, I will be helping you to solve multiple choice questions, including graphs, with less than 5 minutes. So here, he's asking you to identify the vertex of the parabola and to give him the max or minimum value. So whenever you are having such a graph, always look at this point. Do not go to another internal point on the graph. Just focus on the point of this vertex. Here, this point will be telling you about many things. Your H and K. This is your vertex, 3 and 6. Your H will be telling you about the axis of symmetry. And your K will be telling you whether you are having max value or minimum value, and that depends on whether, if it is maximum, that means your A less than 0. If it is minimum, that means your A bigger than 0. So, in a hurry, your axis of symmetry is a 3. That means your vertex 3 and 6. And your graph is going down. That means you are having a maximum value at 6. So if you thought of it, if you just read all of them, your answer will be B. Your maximum is 6 at x is equal to 3, and your vertex is 3 and 6. That's it. Now let's go to this question. Find the domain and the range. So whenever you are having the domain of the quadratic function, it is all reals. So from now, you just delete option B and delete option D. So you are left with A and you are left with C. One of them used the X value to tell you the range. One of them used the Y value to tell you the range. And now it is critical and it depends on your understanding. So the domain should be related to the x-axis. That means you should look at the x-axis and the end behavior. Whenever x goes to infinity, your f of x goes also to infinity. Whenever your x goes to minus infinity, your f of x goes to infinity. That means it is all reals. And this is all about the domain. But for the range, you should relate your answer to the y value. That means you should look where your graph started and where did it end. So if you would like to put a point here where the graph started, so it will be exactly at this point, or down a bit here at this point. So where your graph started, in the y, it should be starting from y is equal minus 5 and it went up to infinity. That means your A is wrong, your C is right, and you need all the values of y bigger than or equal to minus 5 to tell about the range. That's it. Let's go to this question. Find the axis of symmetry of this parabola. So just previously, I was telling you that your vertex H and K will be very essential for you. Your H will tell you about the axis of symmetry. So let's, before doing anything, here it's all about minus 1 and 0. That means your H is equal minus 1, and it will be telling you about your axis of symmetry also. And your graph is having a minimum value at x is equal minus 1 of 0. So that means you should cancel your A, your C, your D, and you will be choosing your X. The axis of symmetry, it's always an equation with X. X is equal minus B over 2A. That means from the beginning, you should cancel A and C. And then D, he's choosing the Y value. So that means it is wrong. Let's go to this. Now, he told you graph y equal minus x squared minus 4x minus 3. So whenever you are having this question, you should check the following. First of all, check A value. If your A value is bigger than 0, that means your graph will go up. A less than 0 will be going down. That means here, if you are having, you have this case where your A is negative value. That means from the beginning, look at the graphs and cancel A. Then, what is the next step? Find the axis of symmetry or the vertex itself. X is equal minus B over 2A. Minus 4 over 2 multiplied by minus 1. And your axis of symmetry will be equal to minus 2. And if you substituted in the function with minus 2, you will be having a vertex of 1. So let's pay attention to this. So it will be minus 2 and 1. And what are the other things that I can do is that check Y-intercept. And the Y-intercept can be found whenever you are putting your X as 0. So put X with 0, X with 0, you will be having minus 3. So let's check everything now. So from the beginning, you should know that you will be canceling your C because your intercept, it's not on minus 3. So here you are having intercept of minus 3, but one of them is having an axis of symmetry of 2. The other is having axis of symmetry of minus 2. And you need your B. You need an axis of symmetry of minus 2. That's it. What if everything was similar? All what you need to do, just equate it to 0 and find the roots. And in this case, your roots will be x1 will be giving you minus 1, x2 will be giving you minus 3, which will prove that this is your answer. Now let's go to this question. Here you are having inequality. So again, you will be focusing on the A value. Here you are having A negative, which is less than 0. That means your graph of the quadratic should be down. That means from the beginning, cancel A. Other than this, you are having less than or equal. That means you are having solid line. And the shaded area should be below, since it is less than or equal. So let's pay attention. So am I having here shading of below? Here I'm having above. Here I'm having below, and here I'm having below. But let's focus on this. It's going up. That means we should also cancel A and D from the beginning. And all the confusion should be only between C and B. And you know that less than or equal, that means you should have the shaded area below. That means your answer will be C. Other than this, you can find also the axis of symmetry. You can find the vertex. You can find the Y-intercept and the roots. So make sure to check everything. Now let's go to the linear functions. What if he got you a graph like this and he asked you to find the slope? How you will be doing this? Locate any point on the graph and choose it to go to the other point. Locate any other point. This is one of the ways. M, which is the slope, is equal rise over run. That means, let's go with the rise. Let's see how many steps I'm going up from this point until this point. So I went 1 and 2 steps up. Now to the right, 1, 2, 3. So 3 steps to the right. That means your slope will be 2 over 3. Other than this, you can just locate this point, 0 and minus 1. And you can locate this point, which is minus 3 and minus 3. Then you can just directly find the slope by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So whether you use the rise over the run or you can use the formula itself. Now, whenever he's giving you systems of equations and he's asking you what is the relation. So if they were intersecting in one point, that means they are having exactly one solution. That means they are having a solution, so they are not inconsistent. That means they are consistent, but now we are left with whether it is independent or dependent. So whenever you are having one solution, it will be independent. But if you are having two lines are overlapping each other, that means you are having many solutions and it will be dependent. When it will be inconsistent, when you have two parallel lines. Now let's go to the number line of the inequalities. And this is very important for me. Whenever you would like to solve an inequality, just get rid of anything related to x. So here minus 7. So it will be minus 4x bigger than or equal to 8. And now pay attention. I would like to have x alone. That means what I will do, I will be dividing by minus 4 both sides. When you divide by minus value in the inequality, you should flip the sign. So flip it before you forget. That means you are having a closed circle or point at x is equal minus 2. That means from the beginning, you should cancel your C, you should cancel your D, and now you are left with whether it is A or B. Now I want the values less than minus 2. So if you tested minus 3, minus 4, they will be less than them. But here it will be the inequality for x bigger than or equal minus 2. So if you didn't flip the inequality, you will be ended with B, which is wrong. So please don't forget to flip the sign whenever you are dividing with minus or with negative value, or even multiplying with negative value. Now, let me highlight the difference between the number line when you are graphing OR and when you're graphing AND. When you're graphing OR, you are not having intersection between them. So let's focus on them. First of all, we are having compound inequality. That means you should forget about A from the beginning. So let's look at here. I want the values which will be smaller than -1 and bigger, or x is bigger than 2. That means I will go to -1 and 2. I will put open circles. 0, -1 and 2. Open circle here, open circle there. Then ask yourself, what are the numbers then less than -1? Is it to the right? Is it to the left? So it will be to the left. Ask yourself, I want the numbers bigger than 2. So it will be to the right. That means it is your choice of C, not D. D will be showing for you the intersection of the solution. So here, let's go to the AND. Here I'm having one of the inequality with open circle, one of them with a closed circle. So I have to search on one of them with open, the other one with a closed. So if you can see, all of them are having open except this one, open and closed. So let's graph it to prove. So here you are having your 1 -3. So here you are having your open circle. I want the values bigger than -3. That means I will go to this side and I will color everything here. Then I would like to have the values less than 1 and equal to this. So I will be going to this side. So this is the intersection of my solution. That's it. Now let's go to this question. Choose the graph that shows x plus 5y equal to -20. Whenever you are given this question, my best advice for you is that find your x-intercept and your y-intercept. So your x-intercept means you will be leaving the x, putting the y with 0. So if you put it like this, it will be x plus 0 equal to -20. So from the beginning, your x is equal -20. But here, your digits, it's not showing the -20. So let's use the y-intercept. It's all about 0 and y. So put your x as 0. So 0 plus 5y is equal to -20. So 5y is equal to -20. Divide by 5 both sides. Y will be equal to -4. That means your y-intercept will be 0 and -4. So let's look at this. In D, he showed you that the x-intercept is 4, which is wrong. In C, he showed you that the x-intercept is -4, but he means by it the y-intercept, so let's cancel C. Now, we are confused between A and B. He showed you y-intercept of 4, y-intercept of -4, and we were getting that it is -4. So let's cancel B. In other cases, what you can do is that you can move everything to the other side and keep y alone. So 5y -20 minus x. Then keep y alone. Y will be divide both sides by 5 So it will be -4 minus 1 over 5x. That means you can also use your slope, which is -1 over 5. Let's see this one. Which graph represents y less than or equal -2x plus 1? So first of all, your slope is negative. That means you know that it will be making an obtuse angle with the x-axis more than 90. So your theta or your angle will be more than 90. Other than this, you know that your y-intercept 0 and 1. and it is less than or equal, that means solid line, and the shaded area will be below. So let's now start canceling things. First of all, clearly your B is wrong because it's making an acute angle. That means your slope here is positive, which is wrong. And let's look at D. You are having dashed line. Here you are having equal. So it is wrong. Now, we would like to think of A and of C. And both of them give you the same Y-intercept. So whether you find the x-intercept or you just think of the shaded here, it showed you that they are shading above the line. Here it is below the line. So because you are having less than or equal, that means it should be below the line. Other way is that use the test point 0 and 0. And let's substitute 0 less than or equal minus 2 multiplied by 0 plus 1. That means your 0 less than or equal 1. Is that right? Yes. Your 0 is less than the 1. That means look at your 0 and 0. You will be coloring on the same direction of it, not the opposite direction, which will be canceling your C. That's it. At the end, I wish all of you best of luck. I would like you to stay positive. Instead of saying you are not good or you are not awesome, you will be giving up. Just to change your words. Whenever you change your words, everything will be changed. Stay positive. Stay out of the negativity zone. Train yourself in math. And these mistakes will be helping you to learn better. So if you are having any questions, please drop for me in the comments. I wish you all the best in your exams. And I wish you will be getting high grades. Thank you so much and have a great day, all of you.